UltraTRX Electric Bikes hired me to be in charge of their engineering and their design of their new models of fat tire electric bikes. We've made all of our systems plug and play. Ours are two separate systems. So we have two controllers, we have two displays, we have two throttles, we have two motors. Any of those have any problem whatsoever, well, you still got the second system to get you home. So we've done everything you could possibly do to make this bike invincible. So if you're deep in the woods and you have a problem with one of those issues, you still have that second motor to get you home. You can call our company up, you can call UltraTRX up, and you can say, hey, I'm in Illinois in the middle of nowhere, and I want to keep in the backcountry. I don't want to leave. What can you do? Well, we can overnight you a new controller. You can unplug the other one yourself. You don't need to take it to a bike shop. Plug the new one in, it's fixed. Display goes bad, same thing. Take a plug, unplug it, plug a new one in, it's fixed. Throttle goes bad, unplug it, take a plug a new one in, it's fixed. Every one of those things are the same. Our motors have the same structure. The motors are set up with 6 bolts. You take those 6 bolts out, it's a cartridge inside of it. You tap the axle with a rubber mallet, the whole cartridge slides out, you slide a new cartridge in, you put it back on the bike, it's fixed. Simple. Our bikes will last forever. We've done everything you could possibly do to make this bike invincible. And we made sure that we got peak out of every single item that we're designing and we're developing. So the big thing that everybody's talking about is that you've got to look into watt hours. The watt hours are 2,640 watt hours, huge. We took our bike and we drove this bike until it quit. This bike got 97 miles total. Between the 2 batteries on the front, there's one on the top here, one inside the frame, one in the rear, okay? On our folding bike, it has one inside of the frame and one on the rear. So we got 97 miles out of this bike. That was averaging about 20 miles an hour with no pedaling whatsoever. The peak power on this thing is 1,450 watts on both of these. So it's 2,900 watts you can get peak power out of this. You can get 180 Newton meters of torque. Each one of these motors will push 90 Newton meters of torque. So you can get 180 Newton meters of torque. We have videos showing this bike climbing a flight of steps. I mean, climbing up a flight of steps. How many bikes will do that? None, okay? A lot of them will go down, but none of them will go up a flight of steps. Nobody shows you this in videos. Nobody proves the distance the bike will go. Nobody proves the power that the bike has. Our bike has more power than any other bike made in the industry. Our bike has more amp hours than any other bike in the industry, which means it has more watt hours than any other bike in the industry. And it will go further than any other bike in the industry. You got huge companies like Lectrek that are stating that they have this new bike that only has 20 amp hours, but they're saying it'll do 100 plus miles. Now what they're stating is it'll do 100 plus miles if you pedal with it. Well, if you're buying an electric bike, why would you want to pedal 100 miles? I mean, seriously, come on. We patented the feature to have multiple batteries, and what we did with that was we made a switching system so you could switch from one battery to the other. So there's only one battery on at a time. When you're using 2 batteries at the same time, you've got power bleed. You've got one battery bleeding into the other, which will not give you the maximum distance out of the battery. So to be able to separate each one, which we've done with the switch, so that each battery is separate on its own. So as you are running one out, you switch to the second one, you switch to the third one. Not only do you have 2 motor systems completely, but you've got 2 to 3 battery systems that are separate too, which really keeps you safe. When you're going deep into the backcountry, you want to know that you can get out of wherever you're going. You don't want to just be able to go deep into the backcountry and then say, what do I do now? I got to pedal home? We've also designed some other patent pending devices. Batteries, lithium-ion batteries at 20 degrees Fahrenheit will cut the amount of power that they can output by about half. So you're going to go half as far when you're out in the colder weather, when you go to 20 degrees. If you go to 5 below 0, it could stop chemically reacting completely, and therefore your lithium-ion battery won't work at all. So what we've done is we designed a system that laces heat strips through your battery cells, and it has a thermostat inside of the shell of the battery. So therefore, it keeps that battery at a constant 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it drops below that, the heaters will kick on, heat the inside shell up to 32 degrees, and then cut off. Therefore, you're always optimized on your battery as well. The other thing is the versatility of our bike. This battery right here weighs about 15 pounds. This battery right here weighs about 14 pounds. This battery inside of here is 17.5 amp hours, which means out of this battery alone inside of here, you can get about 35 miles. So if you want to drop the weight of your battery, not only this bike, but also our folding bike, because again, it has a 15-pound battery in the back, all you have to do is unlock this battery, okay, and slide it out and take it off the bike. That's it. So unlock it, slide it off, take it off the bike. Same with this battery. Just unlock it, slide it out, take it off the bike. You can take 30 pounds off this bike if you want to and still be able to go 30 miles. That's the best of all the world. So you got versatility in the batteries, you got versatility in the motors, you got the versatility of it having two complete systems on both motors. So both motors have their own system, so you've got two complete systems. You've got such versatility in this bike, nothing else in the industry has. We have come out with really the best design of any fat tire electric bike in the world.